Okay, Warframe augment buffs. Okay, here we go. I'm going to warn you all. This is a pretty disappointing list. Ash, Smoke Shadow. Only one of the augments getting changed. Conceals allies within 15 meters for 8 seconds. New, added 150% critical hit chance buff while the player is in stealth. Why? What if you added like a baseline 8 seconds to the ability by like, you know, equipping this or something? Anything? Because like, I don't know about you guys, but my Ashes 4 already does like a couple million damage slash procs. So like this is completely meaningless. This is good though. Why? Why is it good? Like for what? Yeah, but like other builds? I mean, like, I guess. If it adds to comrades? I mean, I guess. 150% critical hit chance. Like, I mean, putting that on allies, like, they have to be super close to you during, like, for your 2. It's super short duration. Like, I mean, yeah, something additional is here, but I definitely wouldn't call it good. Okay. Titanic Rumbler. Create a single Rumbler with 300% health and 300% damage. New Rumbler now has 300% health and 400% damage. Wow. With 300% more range to hit multiple enemies with its melee attack. Their attacks really aren't strong enough in order to do anything in like Steel Path or anywhere like that. So even though you can hit multiple enemies, you have to rely on like the bad Rumbler AI. So yeah, probably still terrible. I will make the Rumbler and like let it punch someone and watch it fucking bounce off them like a squeaky toy. But, you know. Okay. Then we have Endless Lullaby. This one's mystifying to me. Because I read this earlier and I was like, why? Why? Performing a finisher on a sleeping enemy would re-trigger lull for 100% of the remaining duration. That's its before. New, in addition to finishers, lull's refill duration now triggers when a sleeping enemy is directly killed. Does not trigger on assists. Can now only be triggered once per 3 seconds. Why? Like, this is mega useless. It's just like a shitty version of Equinox's 2. Like, it was already a bad version of Equinox's 2. But this, like, makes it that same functionality, but worse for literally no reason. Full duration every 3 seconds seems like enough. No. Not full duration every 3 seconds. 100% of the remaining duration. The word remaining. If it was a full refresh, this would be okay. Also, yes, it is line of sight. That's correct. It's just like this restriction, even without this restriction, there was no chance in hell I was going to use this. But with this restriction, like, literally, what the fuck? Like, it makes no sense to ever use it under any circumstances. Speaking of no sense to ever use it, Furious Javelin on Excal. Each enemy hit would increase Excalibur's melee damage by 10% for 16 seconds. They gave it the old plus 50%. Melee damage is now increased to 15%. Woo! Woo! No, we're never using this. Subsume over this ability. The answer is to subsume over this ability. It's completely unsavable. Like, what is this? Poor K. They're going to add 5% every week until we start using it. And that's going to take several years. Oh, man. Surging Dash. Each enemy hit during slash dash further increases your melee counter by 4. That was its old one. Doubled the melee combo gained from Surging Dash. Oh, baby, are y'all ready for 8? Remember last night when we were talking about how this might be a meme if this number was 100? Like, we were considering it like maybe it would be a meme if it added 100 to the melee counter. Like, maybe it'd be goofy. Like, maybe if you were in a silly, goofy mood, you'd be like, oh, we're going to use the Surging Dash, like, stupid ability. Isn't it going to be goofy? Aren't I silly? But, like, making it 8 is, like, might as well not have changed it. Oh, yeah, also, it's alphabetical order, and nothing on Frost was changed. I mean, the give up machine is absolutely reasonable. Gara, Mending Splinters. For each target affected, Splinter Storm heals 3 health per second, which is what it was. Now, it heals 15 health per second per target affected. Okay. I mean, it's more healing, technically. It is technically more healing. We were really hoping that this was going to become, like, all they needed to do was put a % symbol right after this, and I'd be like, okay, sure. Sure. Because you got to think, like, how much health does something need for 3% to be better than 15? And it's not much. Yeah, it's like 500. Like, 500 health is low. So, yeah, I really wish this was 3%, because that would at least be, you know, a little spicier. But, like, I mean, it still would not be very useful, but it'd be a little spicier. Dreadward on Garuda, this one matters. Become unkillable for 5 seconds when Dread Mirror kills a target by ripping its life force. That was the effect. Now, the invulnerability duration is increased to 8 seconds. Dreadward also has a new visual feedback when cast. Unfortunately, this does not make it so that you will ever kill an enemy with Dreadward. So that's unfortunate. It's every frame with a vitality? That's correct. So yeah. This is moddable, and like the setup for, I mean, I guess you could theoretically use it, but the setup for it is impossibly annoying. Like, if you're going to take an 8-second baseline and pump a fuckload of duration into it just to be invulnerable under the premises that you're going to get an enemy down to, like, the percentage health that you need in order to use your one and then have the effect go through, and then you're going to be invulnerable for 16 seconds, which, by the way, the entire time you're invulnerable, you're going to look around and be like, oh, God, who's next? Oh, God, the timer, it's so short. Oh, no, the timer. You know what you should do instead? You should fucking play Ash. Because all Ash has to do for, like, this exact same effect is hit 2 every once in a while. That's it. Yeah, or just subsume Gloom. Like, that's the reasonable way to go. But yeah, the 8 seconds of invulnerability, like, is totally meaningless. Yeah, play Wisp and jump. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, so this is like, I mean, could you build around this? Sure. You could also just subsume Gloom and move on. Yeah, or just play Neja. Yeah, just being Neja is better than this. Yeah, the amount of the effort to, like, feedback on this is, like, completely, like, useless. Like, is there anything else than Gloom to put on her? You can put Wisp's ability on her. There's, like, an infinite with that you can use, which is pretty fun. Every time you say Gloom, I hear a hammer somewhere in the distance. Whatever. If they hammer Gloom, it's just going to make a bunch of Warframes less viable, and we're going to have a less diverse game. Oh, no. Wow. Well done, DE. You fixed the overpowered ability. That's actually not overpowered at all. It's just making the meta more diverse. But whatever. Move on. Harrow, Warding Thurible. This one's a mystery to everybody. Allies in range take 40% less damage while channeling a Thurible and grant 0.5 additional energy charge whenever damaged. That's what it was. Now, allies will now take 50% less damage and are granted 1 energy when damaged. Here's the thing. while channeling Thurible. Completely unusable. Like literally, these 3 words, completely unusable. Absolutely useless. Like, if this was DR 50% while Thurible is active, and you get it for Harrow, and your allies get it, and bonus, you even get more energy whenever any of you get damaged, A+. But as it stands, completely useless. You're charging Thurible if you're, like, playing Harrow for less than, like, maybe 5-10 seconds. And then you're doing that, like, once, like, a minute or so. So, yeah, completely useless. Absolute waste of a slot in a build. So, no thank you. If you remove the while channeling bit, then maybe we've got something going on here. But until that's gone, useless. Absolute trash. Tribunal. Other players will proc 50% of the effects of Penance and Thurible when attacking chained enemies. Allies now proc 100% of the effects. See, now here's that thing here. There's these 4 words. That's a problem, though. That's a problem. Because at the point where the enemies are alive long enough for you to chain them with your 1, what are you doing? Like, who are you providing these effects to? The person who's AFK? Like, right? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, it's better, but it's not good. I would much rather them have lowered this number to 10% and removed these words. Just other players will proc 10% the effects of Penance and Thurible. Infinitely better. Infinity better. Is this reasonable to be using Harrow's 1, especially with the buff it got? Yeah, it's reasonable to be using Harrow's 1, but like Harrow is like way outpaced in the murder department. And like if he's even getting the effects of Thurible and Penance, it's because he's like throwing his 1 to survive and shooting those enemies and like, you know, doing like a much slower clear, but he's like solo playing Harrow. If you have like a real DPS frame in your party, Harrow ain't doing shit. You can take a damn nap. Ruler, you want to play Harrow as an actual support and nerf him a bit so you can't instant kill anything and just help your teammates, but it isn't this one. Sure. Are the Garuda buffs? They seem okay. Only if its snare counted doesn't change. Sure. First dev post, can't find it. Go into the Discord. It's linked in there. Chroma, guided Effigy. We got the spoiler on this one and we know it's bad. Cast and hold to make Effigy move to your aim point. Deals 2,000 damage per second to enemies in its path and roars on arrival, stunning nearby enemies. That's the old effect. Now it deals double the damage. 4,000 damage. Oh boy. And restores 5 energy for each enemy in its path. Oh boy. Also improved the responsiveness of Effigy when turning and moving. Five energy? Nah, dog. Well, I'll continue to not use this. Because for anyone that doesn't know, the only use for Effigy right now in all of Warframe, the whole thing, is you hit 4 at the end of a Prophet Taker run to double the amount of credits you get whenever Prophet Taker finishes its dying animation. That is the exclusive and only use case of this ability. That's it. That is the top and the bottom. That is the ceiling and the floor. It fills the whole room. So all of this Yu-Gi-Oh text, like this is like doing a combo in Yu-Gi-Oh, and the end result is that you die. So like, yeah, this is completely useless. Absolutely, completely worthless. Hydroid, Corroding Barrage. You guys ready to be sad? Each projectile has a 100% chance of inflicting a corrosive status effect. It's still that, but Tempest Barrage gains 100% ability strength. Hooray! Yay! No, absolutely fucking you. This never did damage. Not one time did this do damage. Even if this was 100% ability strength, just stock fucking standard, better than Blind Rage, like Power Creep Blind Rage for Hydroid. If it's all abilities, you just get 100%. All that would do is get you to subsume Gloom on Hydroid, because it'd be easy to build for Gloom on him. That's fucking it. That's all that would do. Because Hydroid's abilities are such dog shit that you would put a different ability that could use the strength onto him just so you could use this mod that gives 100% ability strength. That's all that would happen if this affected his whole kit and not just Tempest Barrage. You would literally use it as Protea's fucking passive. So yeah, that's a bit sad. We're a bit sad about that one. I don't know what the plan was here. I don't know what wet paper bag this was tested on. Oh, Curative Undertow. Allies can stand in the pool to regain 30% health every 1.5 seconds, increasing the energy drain on Hydroid per ally. That's its old effect. The new one. The energy drain to heal allies has been removed. Thank the fucking Lord for that. And the Augments description has been updated to indicate Hydroid will restore 10% health. This was always in effect. It was just not indicated in the description. So the buff is that there's no energy drain to heal your allies, which you were never doing. Which not once in your life were you, like, that was never the plan. Four and a half seconds to heal allies versus 15 seconds to heal Hydroid. Well, 10 seconds, not 15 seconds. Because this is 10%. So yeah, that exists. So this one we thought might actually be like kind of a meme or good based on the leak, but they nerfed it from the leak. Clear status effects and grant 12 seconds of status immunity for yourself and allies that come into contact with Tidal Surge. That's the old effect. Now, reduced Tidal Surge's energy cost from 25 to 15. Okay, so here's the thing. This original effect here, absolutely useless. Like, basically, remove all this text and the augment is completely nothing. So like there was nothing here. The mod text was blank. As it stood, completely blank fucking text. Now it makes your Tidal Surge cost 10 less energy. But the leak that we got was that it was going to make Tidal Surge completely free to cast, and that would have at least been kind of funny. Like, we like theorize that if his 3 worked correctly and you had this augment that could make his 2 free, he would be like a really bad frame, but that at least did not have energy problems. But now it's just that he's just still a really bad frame. So this is a blank mod. Like, might as well have no text on it. So that's unfortunate. No meaningful text was had. Moving on. Inaros, Desiccations Curse. Killing a blinded enemy with a finisher has a 75% chance of summoning a Sand Shadow. That's the old effect. New effect. Killing a blinded enemy with a finisher now has a 100% chance of summoning a Sand Shadow. Increased Sand Shadow's damage by double. Now there's the problem. Those 3 words are real rough. When's the last time you guys killed an enemy with a finisher as Inaros? And if your answer is not back when daggers had the mod that made it so that that instant killed enemies, what has been going on in your life? Do you need to see a therapist? Yeah. Covert lethality was a thing, and that was the last time I used a finisher to kill an enemy with an Inaros. So yeah, the Sand Shadows, like, completely ineffectual. Legitimately, this augment would be super, super interesting if the Sand Shadows had, like, decent damage. Let's just assume that we're in that world. And you can throw sand at a bunch of enemies, and then when you kill them, they become an army for you. Like, that's at least, like, you know, that's another silly, goofy mood mod, right? Where it's like, oh, look, I can make a bunch of dudes like Necros, but in a kind of different way, where I cover them in sand, and then when I kill them, they become my minions. Like, that'd be fun. I'd enjoy myself. Like, you shoot a bunch of sand down a hallway and then fucking unload the Nataruk, and then you got a bunch of soldiers. That's funny. It wouldn't be good, but it'd be funny. But this is not even funny. This is just like a hassle and not useful. So we got that going on. Elemental Sandstorm. Sandstorm has a 50% chance of inflicting status effects based on the damage types and mods on equipped melee weapon. New, Sandstorm has a 100% chance of inflicting status effects. As well, Sandstorm receives a 50% increase to range. Now, this is the one on this list that I need to test this and see if there's something here, because this is actually potentially, this might be a build. You might be able to do like a DPS thing with Inaros here. Like, legitimately, there might actually be something here. So like, I don't know if 100% status is enough. But 100% status and the 50% increase to range, maybe. Like, depending on how fast it ticks, you make a big fire tornado, you get the big fire sand. Maybe it's possible. We're going to test this one. This is going to be the first one that we go in and test, because there's actually something here. There might be something going on here. DPS Inaros? So yeah, we'll look at that and see if there's anything there. There might be a funny meme build if you subsume Desiccate on Ash. Oh, God. And then Limbo Rifthaven. Before allies banished to the Rift will have 25% of their maximum health restored. New, allies banished to the Rift will have 25% of their maximum health restored every second. So, this makes it so that you can be worse than Wisp during defecation. Defection. Sorry. That's pretty much what that does. It's all right. There's you know, I mean, we used Limbo whenever the pacifism defect was an event. It's the same. Yeah, defection and defecation, those are synonyms pretty much. So yeah, those are, yeah. That's the thing. You might, maybe someday. I guess if you want to use a top hat instead. So we got that going on. Dojo stuff. There's some two new orbiter decorations, the operator switch and the spotlight. What? The operator switch? What's that? Okay. Changes. Reduce Chroma's Effigy radial knockback intensity. It still sends enemies flying, but no longer to the moon. Explosive barrels knock down enemies again. Bet a lot of you forgot about explosive barrels, huh? Think they will touch the frost augments? Nope. Operator switch is a new thing from the war. Oh, it's legitimately the switches from New War. Okay, sure. Sure. Okay, why not? Hydroid title surge changes. Ooh. You can now cancel it by jumping, like Lavos' ability. Ooh, wow. Reduce the cost of a second title surge cast by 50%. Wow. For casting, the ability to change directions will now do so seamlessly. Wow. Spamming Hydroid's title surge, causing the wave FX to stick to Hydroid permanently. So, some minor quality of life improvements to a completely useless ability / Warframe. Quality of life not actually go up. Quality of life is that of a fucking man who lives in a box, because that's what Hydroid's up to. These would all be great changes if Tidal Surge was an ability anyone wanted to cast. Please make that sarcastic. Wow, you do a sound alert. Other fixes and stuff. Oh yeah, there's actually a good one here. Fix the innate damage bonus of Kuva / Tenet projectile weapons not applying to the bonus damage from galvanized aptitude. So this actually makes all of the Kuva and Tenet weapons better. Also, I think this is like on the books as like the 15th time they've tried to fix the like condition overload effect. Like, does anyone actually have like a raw count on how many times they've tried to fix these effects? Because it's been like, we've been going. It's still broken? Probably. Like, almost certainly. Like, it's been a lot. Like, since it came out, it's been like every other patch minimum. Send the spreadsheet guy a holler. Yeah, I'm just curious what about it is still broken, more so than whether or not it's fixed. Hear me out. What if we gave all of Hydroid's abilities corrosive procs without the need of an augment and a base damage number of 10/50 million? Okay, 10/50 million. You've got my attention. That'd be good. Then I'd understand why his 2 augment doesn't make it free. Still broken for a bunch of weapons? Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. And then we got a bunch of other miscellaneous fixes here as well. Fixed a nasty crash related to Wisp's reservoirs. Thank God for that. I'm fixing that one. That's good. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. The other one is the Naira mod. Yeah. This fucking shit. Fixed Naira mod set bonus, also applying to normal melee damage instead of just slam attacks. A bunch of people gave me shit for not, like, including the Naira mods in my fucking builds while they were bugged. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I told you it was a bug. You could read the damn thing in game. It was so clear it was broken. Go fuck yourself. It was so clear. Bright as fucking day. But yeah, that's what's going on here. So yeah, we're going to look at the Inaros augment, and then we'll mess around with Garuda a little bit. But Garuda's 2 did not get changed enough for me to not use Gloom.